Hello, this is KG. This broadcast is for January 26th, 2026. This radio program is being recorded on January 25th, 2026, shortly after entering the 9 p.m. hour. Sunday, January 25th, had already been an intense day from early morning. The retirement report of Yu Darvish, a baseball god. When it comes to baseball gods, I believe there can be as many gods as you want. They talk about the 7 lucky gods, so having 7 is perfectly fine, and there can be many more beyond that. The number really doesn't matter. Shohei Ohtani is also a god, the god of two-way players. And the baseball god, the god of pitchers, is who I believe Yu Darvish is. The retirement report concerning Yu Darvish was distributed in Japan at 6:15 a.m. on January 25th. Starting with an article from the Japanese media outlet Full Count, the news spread rapidly. Is Yu Darvish retiring? With 3 years remaining on his contract and 208 combined wins in Japan and the U.S., according to a local paper. With that headline, the story was reported across Japan all at once. There were also reports from overseas media such as Reuters. But when you look at Japanese media coverage, by the 8 p.m. hour on January 25th, 2026, there were approximately 37 articles related to Yu Darvish's retirement. There may have been more, but roughly around that number. 37 articles. That alone shows how big this story was. So then the question becomes, what exactly is this local paper? In the Full Count article, it said, on the 25th Japan time, the local paper San Diego Union Tribune reported that Padres pitcher Yu Darvish intends to retire. Following this report, Yu Darvish's name suddenly shot up into the trending topics on X. I was working on something else while checking X, and when I saw the name Darvish trending, I thought, what is this? When I checked, it was this retirement report. That day, there was also the topic of Shohei Ohtani's well-known dinner event, which I had been paying attention to, and right in the middle of that, this suddenly hit me. I was like, what? From the morning on, it had already been a crazy day, and to be honest, I had barely slept at all. On January 25th, I only slept briefly at a strange time, and once morning came, I couldn't fall asleep again. I was thinking, once I finish this task, I'll sleep, and then this report about Yu Darvish came in, and again I was like, what? I even covered it myself on the radio, but at that point, I hadn't fully organized my thoughts. I uploaded it without having everything sorted out. However, as time passed, by the time of this recording, most of the information had come out. That's why I felt I could see things more clearly and could talk about my perspective as I usually do, which is why I'm recording this program now. Let me say this first. The San Diego Union Tribune needs to reflect on this. This is something I will not compromise on, not even 1 millimeter. They reported that he intends to retire, but the person himself is saying, I am not retiring. That means it is wrong. If that is not corrected, the same thing will happen again. They need to acknowledge it and apologize by saying, this part was incorrect. We are sorry. It may be unpleasant to do, but it must be done. You cannot make a mistake on something this big. This is absolutely unacceptable reporting. It is extremely disrespectful. As I said earlier, Yu Darvish is a baseball god. He was already extremely famous from his high school days. The name Darvish was already known nationwide when he was in high school. People wondered which team he would go to, and then he joined the Nippon Ham Fighters. After turning professional, there were various issues at first. That's unavoidable. He had lived immersed in baseball his entire life. He was young, and once you turn pro, you naturally want to loosen up a bit. That's part of being human. But from there, he changed. I've heard a story that while staying at a hotel near Tokyo Dome, he thought, if I keep going like this, it's over. The transformation from that point on was incredible. I often say this on the radio. I believe that the higher a person's perception ability, their ability to read the air, the smarter they are. Atmosphere is invisible and intangible, but those who can perceive it are the smartest. And the person whose perception ability is at a world-class level is Yu Darvish. That's why I've always said he is the best pitcher in the world. He is also a person of great character. I often say, Darvish is like Gandhi. On this radio show, I mainly talk about Shohei Ohtani, and I only bring up Yu Darvish occasionally. Why? Because he is Yu Darvish. Because he is a god, I believe he's fine. Perfect even when you're not watching. Darvish is starting tomorrow? Oh, then it's fine. That's the feeling. For me, he is that absolute of a presence. During his Nippon Ham days, I watched as a Hawks fan, but when the fighter starter was Darvish, I thought, we've already lost this game. Let's win a different one. That's how dominant he was. There was once a crucial, high-stakes game where he injured his lower back. He couldn't throw his usual powerful fastballs or sharp breaking balls. I thought this might be over, but he finished the game brilliantly through pitching technique. It was almost like a standing throw, not pretty to look at, but he won. It was truly incredible. Yu Darvish's pitching form is beautiful. His center of gravity, his pivot foot, everything is calculated. Even how it looks is thoroughly thought through. On the other hand, Shohei Ohtani prioritizes ease of throwing. He doesn't seem to obsess over form as much. That difference is interesting as well. Darvish is sometimes described as neurotic, but I see that as a strength. He became aware of his neurotic tendencies and consciously changed them. He changed them completely. He refined both his character and his skills as a pitcher. In Major League Baseball, he signed a long-term contract with the Padres, with 3 years remaining, worth approximately 6.7 billion yen. Right now, he is not in perfect condition. That is exactly why, as a person of integrity, he must have thought, is it really right to continue a high-value contract in this condition? I believe it was Yu Darvish himself who proactively moved to set up discussions. He tried to face the situation sincerely, including contract revisions or termination. And the fact that those discussions were happening was simplistically reported as an intention to retire by the local paper. That's how I interpret it. That is why the response after the report was so fast. He denied it on X, in both English and Japanese. He also explained it through audio on a private platform. However, he clearly stated, please do not report statements made in private spaces. That is likely due to past experiences where jokes were treated as official statements and caused controversy. He is originally someone who would speak as much as necessary if his words would reassure fans. Even so, he drew a clear line. That was his decision this time. The postseason, Dodgers versus Padres. The pitching performance where he shut down a red-hot Shohei Ohtani. That gave me chills. He changed his form, changed his tempo, and showed a completely different throwing motion for just one pitch. That brief moment of discomfort. That alone decided the outcome. Playfulness and intelligence. A genius. His response to this reporting was the same. The same approach he uses when facing a power hitter. Consideration. Perception. Calmness. This is the world's best pitcher. Yu Darvish is a player who has contributed immensely to MLB, to Japan, and to the global baseball world. Reporting involving someone like that should be handled with far greater care. The era of whoever does it first wins is over. I began radio broadcasting because of Yu Darvish's own communications. Even though he is a god, he speaks at the same eye level. So let me say this. Now is not the time for retirement. That would be a problem. A baseball career does not end until the final 3 outs in the bottom of the ninth. Yu Darvish is a pitcher who will stand on the mound until the very end and finish by throwing every last pitch. I believe that, and I will continue to wait. That's all for this time. Thank you very much.